Shannon Magrane, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Coming to the Idology set. I've got to ask you, just in the few seconds setting up here, and also in some of the flip cam footage we saw of you, you seemed quite goofy and fun. And I'm not sure we saw that person during your idol journey, as Ryan Seacrest would like to call it. Where was that person, and why didn't we get to see her?
I was always this goofy child. I'm literally such a child, and I was very goofy in front of the camera all the time, but they never really, like, you know, I'm glad I had a flip camera because I showed the goofy side of me and who I am, but the camera never really picked up on my goofy side. Was it strategic to sing J-Lo's On the Floor? Were you like, oh, this will play well with one of those judges? No, I was actually on the radio. We were listening to 93.3 and it was on the radio, and we happened to be filming, and they accidentally flipped when I was singing Jennifer's song, and that was really cool, and I thought that was very ironic, so I thought they would like that footage. We're gonna just skip Hot, Humid, and Happening Gate.
Just like your daughter.
Not gonna ask you. I'm sure you've been asked it.
That question is definitely an FAQ, frequently asked. I
want to ask you about your audition because you picked an Etta James song, Something's Got a Hold on Me.
Yes.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
I don't mean to stereotype, but we would not expect your average 15-year-old from Tampa to pick that as her first choice of song to audition to.
You know, I kind of steer towards the songs that are more Motowny and have that cool bop and beat, you know, because those are the most fun to sing, actually. Right. And I think that song that I chose showed off my voice the most, and I'm really glad that I chose that because later another song came out that incorporated some of that song into it. So a lot of people my age, even though it was a really old song, a lot of people my age knew the words to the song.
What song sampled that? You
know the song Good Feeling by Flo Rida? Oh, sometimes I get it. That song. It's really...
Oldie Olsen here kind of went, that Flo Rida, somehow I missed that one. We also saw a little evidence of that old soul in you from What a Wonderful World during your Hollywood Week solo. So again, we saw aspects of that, which I'm not sure made it all the way to the live stage. Is this music that you would listen to at home? Yes, this was, you know, I always lean towards the more soulful stuff, and you know, I'm 16, and a lot of people out there, what does she know about soul? Like, she's only 16 years old, but I love to sing that soulful stuff, and I've been surrounded by tons and tons of different music, but that old soul is definitely inside me, and that's what I like to perform most of. Gotta ask you about Hollywood Week, because you performed Hit 'Em Up Style, which to me, like, I always feel like the Soleil and Mia that she brings up in the lyrics, they're just there to sabotage idol contestants. That's such a hard song. So many words, crazy tempo. You know what? Out of all the songs that they gave us on that list, we picked that song, and that was the song with the most words. And I knew the song, and I knew, and when I just got on stage, it just went boom. Just go back and hit 'em up style. Put your hands in the cash. Beamin' in the Beamer, just beamin'? Yeah, really. It was hard. It was a tough song, and when I got off stage, I could sing it perfectly like that, recalled all the words, and that was just definitely a really, that was one of my down moments. What goes through your head when you've lost the lyrics at a crucial, you know, you're getting pretty close at that point to the final 24, but you're not there yet. That's gotta be horrific. Right, I thought, like, you can't stop, and you have to keep going and sing no matter what. Don't, like, stand there like a deer in a headlight. You have to keep singing, and, you know, I just kind of riffed through it and ad-libbed through it just to show them that I have a voice in there, because this was after only a couple of days of them hearing me sing. So, and I just wanted to see that the show still goes on, pushed through it. Yeah, some perseverance. Showed something instead of standing there like, you know? And you were with Joshua Ledette in that group? Yes, Joshua. And he's like murdering that. That was crazy what he did with that song, I must say. It's crazy what he does with every song, let's be honest here. I'm behind him 100%. He was one of my best buddies on the show, and I'm so proud of him, and I really hope that he makes it really far. You get to the semifinals, and I thought this was a pretty gutsy move. I mean, I'm not sure if it would be my favorite song choice in the world, but you picked a song that I would guess 75% of the Idol audience doesn't know. And one of my huge complaints on this show is always, why do people sing the same songs year in and year out? So I was like, thank you for at least picking something completely off the charts, like maybe literally off the charts. Yeah, literally. Nobody really knew of the song, and it's a song that when a lot of people hear it, it's really inspirational, and it's really, I mean, for me, when I first heard it, I cried, and that's how much it got to me. I just wanted to bring something a little more me. So hold out your candle for all to see it.
Were you afraid? I mean, we often hear that contestants are advised, like, don't pick things people don't know.
Yes, I got that a ton. I got that a ton when people are like, "You sure you want to do this song?" But I'm the type of person who loves to take risks. You can be a good singer, but you don't have that emotion and story there behind it, and that's really important. And I feel like that since I had that with that song, I would have come out with that.
On the flip side of things, I mean, it went well. You made it through. But there was some talk of like, well, maybe she's too pageanty because you were in a white gown and you sort of had the updo and then you got really inspirational lyrics.
People are like, you looked really pageanty, but what girl doesn't want to look what teenage girl doesn't want to look beautiful on their big day? I felt like I was going to prom and I wanted to look really nice for everybody, and I was lucky to be in that dress because I felt pretty myself. I liked looking nice on my big day.
Following week, you got a Sweet Baby from J-Lo.
Sweet Baby.
Well, Baby is bad if she's like baby, but Sweet Baby, I was like, oh no, like Sweet Baby. I've never heard her say Sweet Baby before. What is she gonna say?
I think the thinking got the best of you a little bit on that one.
I loved the fact that she called me Sweet Baby instead of Shannon, listen.
Right.
I need to tell you, like, I loved it. It made me feel a little bit better.
It smooths it over a little.
Yeah, it smooths it over, and they give really good feedback, and I'm glad that they gave me that kind of feedback because it pushed me and made me work even harder to come out with the next week even better.
On the flip side of the Kathy Broccoli song, we've seen I Have Nothing. I think you were the 7th person to cover it in 11 seasons.
I don't really look at what people have sung on the show. I look at what's going to fit my voice the most and what America's going to think that I sounded good in. And I sounded really good in rehearsals, and you can ask Ken and Nigel, I swear. Right. It was just that second on stage, and that was on one note.
Is it something that you can pinpoint?
It was only at that moment that was challenging for me to hit, but everything before that, when I sang it before, it was really easy and it came really simple. It actually helped the next week when will.i.am said that to lay on the floor and practice your breathing technique. Right. And that, I think, was a part of it, that I wasn't breathing right on stage. And it actually helped. That whole breathing technique thing helped a ton.
Your last song on the show, One Sweet Day, it's a Mariah Carey song, and we often hear like, don't sing Mariah, which is like, you know, kind of like going up Mount Everest.
Yes,
really, in terms of like vocal difficulty. Were you afraid at all? Because I think even the judges said to you, like, we were worried about this.
Yes, I saw them when they were watching my package before I sang. They were like, ooh, I don't know what she's gonna do with this song. But I came out and I sang it the best that I could. But I chose this song overall because it's One Sweet Day is the song that me and my grandpa used to sing before he passed away.
Okay.
And the lyrics went with the whole situation, and we sing it together all the time. It was our favorite song, so I dedicated it to my papa, and I know he was looking down on me really proud.
Going into the mentoring session, you were like, I had a lot of really interesting choices this week that I came up with.
Yeah.
What were your alternatives?
There was like rap and hip hop in there, so it was kind of hard. Like, I'm not gonna go out on American Idol and sing like, yo, my name is, like, I can't go out there and I can't like do stuff like that because there was not really a lot of melodic songs.
I think Here Comes the Hot Stepper was from the year you were born. I may be wrong,
yes,
but I was
and
like,
there was a lot of TLC on there, Shaggy, a lot of those good
Boombastic
songs.
Or something
Boombastic.
like that.
That song, I looked at it, I was like, hey Mom, I should sing this song, and we kind of made a joke like, I thought that would have been really funny, but you know, I just came across One Sweet Day and I thought, okay, this is the one, I need to sing it, and me and my papa sang it all the time.